Iron Chef episode I ever saw, I was on a family vacation at Disney World in Orlando in a hotel room with my parents.
It was raining,
and it came on. Yeah, it was
in
raining.
the afternoon. No shit, right?
And it was. I remember watching it in Japanese and just thinking it was. This, I was like, "Whoa, what the fuck is this show?" It was awesome.
But what you're talking about was what was inspiration for David. So he's taken that and he's transformed it into himself.
I mean, you watch that shit and you're like, man, that's so like they have amazing equipment and stuff that you can never do in a million years because you have a whisk and a pie at home. But I want to do that kind of stuff. So, bought that ice cream machine, started doing that kind of stuff, and then.
At what age did you buy an ice cream machine?
Like
and are we talking
like
Top Chef churner?
No, we're talking like countertop model that anybody can buy at Target,
okay.
Right? You know what I mean? Just
mess around. You've been churning for a minute,
right? So fast forward to
churning for a yearning.
You really missed it. It was burning.
Yeah, God, you did.
He was yearning for a churning for a burning. Because yearning. God damn it, Tyler.
Burning
that's why you're on the back burner.
That's a good point.
You forgot your role.
All right, David. So how'd you get back into it?
So basically what ended up happening was, let's fast forward to the beginning of the pandemic last year. Lost my job and ended up finding a new one within about a month or two. But with that new job, had an enormous amount of time. Found my old ice cream maker and started making ice cream with the extra time that I had by working from home,
Wait, so time out. You chose the same time that we were all just like tugging away on ourselves like a tractor pull in Arkansas. You were like, I'm just going to churn a bunch of fucking ice cream?
It's the most Mississippi thing I've ever heard, like a tractor pulling Arkansas. But, yeah, that's exactly what happened.
It's actually a reference from a movie called Stepdad with Robin Williams and Billy Crystal circa 1997. Shout out to my friends over there in the music and movie world. They know what I'm talking about.
Billy Crystal?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the man.
See? All right, wait. So, yeah, you were just bored. You were like, oh, shit, look what's collecting dust.
So what's funny is like I actually started out by making cheesecakes. And it was a pain in the ass.
Okay. I was supposed to be like, well, how did I need...
It was a pain in the ass because I had a home oven and I could only make like 2 or 3 cheesecakes at a time, and that takes hours to do, and it just wasn't worth the
bang wasn't worth the buck.
It wasn't even necessarily that. I also just
Welcome
didn't
to our
enjoy
podcast.
it. I just didn't enjoy it. You know what I mean? Like it just felt kind of incomplete. Like and I kind of transferred and moved over into making ice cream because I found my old ice cream maker. Couldn't find the top, so I ordered a top off of eBay for it. And made my first batch of Cinnamon Toast Crunch ice cream.
Whoa. Okay, so that is my first question. How did you know where to start with? Was it a stoner kind of mindset? You were like, everybody fucking makes mint chocolate chip. Salted caramels become the norm. Your flavors have kind of... Obviously, the names and the captions that you use on social media are witty and help sell it. But you have some flavors that are kind of a little bit wilder than the average bear. It's almost like you've combined TikTok with like actual culinary skill. Like that's what it feels like. You've seen these videos of fruit nice or cereal and fucking almond milk.
Yeah.
You've kind of done this. What is this?
I think it just kind of stems from
stonerism.
Yeah, and just being able to see so much cool shit happening around you now with like everything's so accessible. We sit on our phones all day and like scroll through Instagram and see.
You're talking about a Bella Danger.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, right. Yeah.
She's doing wonderful things in the cereal world.
Yeah. So you see all these cool things that people are doing all across the country, and you're like, I can do that kind of stuff. And then it kind of goes back to what I was talking about with the Iron Chef stuff, and just I have a culinary background. I worked at Table 6 for a year. I worked at Tag when it was Troy's only restaurant in town for a couple of months.
What were you about to say?
When it was Troy's only restaurant.
I thought you were
when it was better.
When Troy was doing his thing. We're talking about like 2010, 2011.
I know. That's why I was asking what your verbiage was going to be. So I think a lot of folks would like to know that.
Yeah,
Troy's got a lot of spots.
Better doesn't set a floor or a ceiling, so it's just better than what,
Yeah, I mean it's all relative. If you never had it before, you really don't have anything.
I like to think that it's similar to that of the kitchen.
We talked about the kitchen the other day.
Yeah. Chris, my co-host, was an OG kitchen, pre-expansion, like when they just opened
That's
the
Kimball's
upstairs.
restaurant.
Yep. The next door.
Yeah, when it was like Kimball didn't have a name because his brother didn't have a rocket, kind of thing. It's like you see these things like they come to fruition. You're like, remember back when they were just one, and I mean, no discredit to Troy. Troy is fucking fantastic. He's not only a great person, they run a great ship and operation.
Yeah.
I fucks with them for a lot of different things,
I mean,
but I don't go there for like tier 1A food. Like you go to your Tavernettas, your Wolves, or your whatever Hop Alley.
Burrito right next door.
Oh, dude. Fuck. Oh, I mean, I said Wolves, so same cut of the
shout out Wolf Taylor over there, too.
I love Fruition.
Really? See, I haven't
Hop
been
Alley.
there. Oh, yeah. I mentioned Hop on the tail end.
It's not
even
Hop is the top.
Yeah.
And there's
over here.
other folks in that company with Tommy over there. Shout out to Tommy on the new baby. Congrats to you and Rach. Yeah. I see. I can't say that.
You could.
You
But I use the word schwitz, and I feel like I'm like, oh, guess what? Am I a dual? Do I have? Am I bilingual? I may be. And they're like, no. But that's just when I sit outside.
I've got plenty of great Yiddish words if you want to learn some Yiddish words for random stuff. So
We'll throw some around.
Y'all just spit a couple out. I'll throw some southern dialects out there. Yeah, I threw a couple out
We're
earlier.
very multicultural in this bitch.
You know what? We've always wanted to dip our toe into other pools, and so please, schwitz it up.
yeah.
Get it? Pool schwitz. Yeah.
Love it.
I thought that was well played. All right, so back to the topic. I forgot what happened. I'll cut out a bunch of this.
I don't even know.
Riff-raff.
It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, so we were talking about how you had a bunch of different flavors.
Yeah. I mean, where all that kind of stems from is just, watching Iron Chef and watching all those places in my culinary background. Like, I don't want to just make ice cream. You can buy a scoop of chocolate, you can buy a scoop of mint, you can buy a scoop of whatever at 18 other places in the city that I could think of right now, but that's not what Wright cream is, and that's not what I ever, set it up to be. It was more about, like,
nudes. Get nudes in the Instagram.
Yeah, it was about just trying to get nudes in the DMs. Exactly.
But also, like, you've created this new, like, it's almost you've done what Voodoo has done for donuts in our local community. Like, you can still go to Dang and get soft serve with French fries.
It's elevating a thing.
Yeah, and you can get salted Oreo at Little Man, which is a very hard brand to overcome. You have Mile High Creamery, but what you've done is created an exotic vibe, but you've also made what I would consider, you've made vegan ice cream that doesn't just suck fucking ass as well. Like, I've had your vegan ice cream, not by choice,
Thanks.
but shout out to Denise for having a care package sent to me.
Yeah.
Like, that is good. Like, when I was like, oh, wow, this doesn't just taste like shaved ice with fucking coconut milk. Like,
Yeah.
You've been able to do some things that you haven't seen around town.
And it's funny because, like, vegan isn't really even my forte. Like, I kind of suck at that in my opinion. You know what I mean? It can be a lot better, but I appreciate you saying that. And in my opinion, it is better than a lot of other icy vegan ice creams that I've had that tend to end up like sorbets. But
Casual flex.
yeah, but
Continue on.
But I mean, hey, at the end of the day, like what I like.
See him milking coconuts all day long.
Yeah, I love to milk coconuts.
I've got nipples, Greg.
Yeah, coconuts have nipples.
Yeah.
Basically, like what I've tried to do is just all those places that you just mentioned, all those other ice cream shops. Like I don't even really consider them like competition because we don't do the same thing. They sell scoops of ice cream and pints of ice cream and things like that, and I sell an ice cream dessert, or like a dessert experience almost at the end of the day. You haven't seen, or you probably haven't been by the Ramble to do the sundaes or any of the sandwiches.
I haven't been able to do that.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about, so for those that don't follow us on our Instagram, for those that are not in town, paint a little picture about what you have been doing. Like, so
wait, hold on. Can I step in real fast?
I'll allow
answer
it.
a previous question.
Sure, we kind of ramble, so go with it.
No. I think this is a good thing because, like, you're asking about all the flavors that David makes, because that's like David's forte is coming up and creating all these flavors and their uniquenesses, their nuances, and then how we kind of interplay the flavor with the name of the flavor. It's all David. All of that's all creative mind of David. And the thing that I've noticed,
stonerisms.
And the way that, from my perspective, being I don't have the mental ability to constantly be creative like that, right? Continue every day, coming up with I will tell you the truth, between leaving the Ramble and our next location, Dave has already come up with 7 menus and 45 new flavors.
Yeah, I have 40 to 50 new ice cream flavors that I haven't even released
to me,
yet.
that's
so how did you learn that?
Yeah,
how did you
just
find what
gift.
plays with well? Did you do a culinary journey, or was this all learned in the expertise of working around the community?
It's funny, to be completely honest with you. The most experience I have with any sort of formal chef cooking training is the restaurants that I told you I worked at, and then I actually took a couple of cooking classes at Cook Street right over here when I was in high school. I had my mom sign me up for them, but beyond that, I don't have any formal training. And frankly, I look at food just as my life. Everything that has to do with food and being around food and being in a restaurant and being involved in that industry, I've never wanted anything more. So Wright Cream was really my way into being what I really wanted to be a part of, and that's the food industry.
So you've always kind of had keeping temperature of it, and you were how do I find my niche in it?
Right. So let's go. So let's go back to April of 2020, right? And May of 2020, and I'm making the ice cream in my kitchen, and I made that black sesame cardamom flavor and all that kind of stuff. I wasn't doing any.
We were fermenting peppers.
Yeah, I was helping Josh make some hot sauce too. That he was doing fermented hot sauce.
We were just screwing around at the beginning of the pandemic.
At
the very beginning of
we
the pandemic.
we just had extra time.
I mean, I was as well. I mean, I bought up. So for real, you said let's dial it back. Let's talk a little bit about flavors.
Yeah.
Are these childhood flavors? Are we talking about these are things that you're creating on a Saturday night, like y'all mentioned? You get out Saturday afternoon to ramble, and you got a whole slate for next week's. They never are the same. They sell out in 30 minutes. We're creating a brick and mortar. What can we expect?
Yeah, so, I mean...
That was a loaded 7-part question. Sorry, that's Welcome Podcast.
He'll be able to answer 6.5 parts of it, though.
Yeah, at least maybe 6.9 parts of it. Yeah, nice. So, I mean... Wright Cream, let me make this very clear to everybody listening. Wright Cream will never be a scoop shop. Wright Cream will never be a scoop shop. Wright Cream will never be a scoop shop, right? So the way that...
So it's almost like a bodega. You walk in like it's an airport kiosk. You grab what you want out of the cooled area and get the fuck out.
The beautiful thing about this is that you're not even going to walk in. There's a damn pickup window. You don't even get to walk in the joint.
That sounds fantastic. So is the whole thing a creamery?
Yeah, so basically it's, there's
genius.
800-ish, 700-ish something usable square feet, and half of it's a kitchen, and then the other half of it is going to be a lot of freezer space and storage space and counters and things like that for me to do Sundays on, right? So the idea, basically the way that it worked at the Ramble is, and how it's worked since the beginning, is there's a pre-order on Monday. I put this menu out on Sunday on my Instagram story. The pre-orders happen on Monday, and then people pick up their ice cream on Saturday. And then with the walk-up window at the Ramble, we were able to do things like, Sundays and, exclusive walk-up only flavors and things like that you couldn't pre-order to kind of, force people to come and stand in line, frankly. And that's what is going to happen in Rhino, and that's what's going to happen at Wright Cream. We're going to continue that model. We're going to continue to do the drops. It's going to be hard to get still. It's going to sell out in a few minutes, and that's just how it's going to be. I think really the biggest difference is that I'm going to be able to make more ice cream more frequently. Is really what it's going to come down to.
Which I think if you lead with that rather than it's going to continue, because it's not. When you're able to, let's say, what you're churning out now, you'll be able to churn out 7 times of that matter, and in the same amount of time that you otherwise would have. So you will be able to serve the masses that are listening to our podcast. All 1,700 of y'all that listen or download every single week, plus everyone that's maybe a straggler that's a friend or family of David. And Josh. Shout out to y'all's families. You will be able to service more. So don't be discouraged by the fact that you weren't able to get it at the fucking Ramble or, one of those things like that. That's a great idea, though. Keeping it as a window or less. It's not an in-person shop. It's not a Swenson's, I will pitch one idea to you, and if it works, I would like to have my name on a plaque on a wall.
Okay.
You create one booth inside the creamery where some people can rent it out for birthday parties because rich people that have kids, I'm thinking Peyton Manning's children, they want to see how it's made. Give them a tour like adults see cannabis or adults see wineries or adults see breweries.
Yep.
Yeah. Give a kids how an ice cream is made, and then they finish it with sundaes. You just got to give them 1 or 2 booths like this. and you don't even open it every other day. It's only for
Yeah,
private,
we-
and you charge that thing so high that only Peyton and Peyton's cohorts
In
can.
case anyone that works for the city of Denver is a listener, we do not have indoor dining.
Oh yeah, okay.
It's a private event. It's a very comfortable seat for David and I to sit in.
Yeah.
And we also might be able to provide
So,
ice cream experiences in the future.
Yeah.
use promo code KIP when you call.
It's KIP69420 actually.
Yeah, that's a little corny, but that sounds a lot like my AIM name. So you have that vying for you. You're
Yeah.
ahead of us. But that's what I was thinking. When the whole time it's like, I want to see how it would be made in a vat.
Yeah.